Hello, everyone. My name is Kieran, and today we are going to explore one of the most important aspects of communication, and that is interacting effectively with others in discussions. So, if it's in class, in meetings, or even in some informal settings, our ability to share ideas, listen actively, and collaborate respectively can make a huge difference in how successful those discussions are. So, throughout this session, I'll guide you through some key principles and some practical skills that will help you become a more confident and effective communicator. So, let's begin. So, before we get started, let's look at our learning goals for today. So, by the end of this session, you should be able to do two main things. Now, the first one is you will understand the importance and core principles of effective discussion and interaction in group settings. So that is what makes discussions productive, respectful, and engaging. And secondly, you'll be able to apply these principles in real world situations. That means not just knowing about communication, but actually being able to use those skills. Listening carefully, asking thoughtful questions, and expressing yourself clearly. That could be in your studies or also in your professional life. So think of this as developing both your mindset and your toolkit for effective discussion. Now, in our daily lives, we're constantly engaging in discussions with classmates, teachers, friends, family, and even strangers, maybe. But have you ever noticed how some conversations feel natural and productive, while other ones feel awkward or frustrating? And that is often because of how we interact, whether we are really listening, showing respect, and expressing our ideas clearly. So in this session, we'll break down what makes discussion effective. So you can use these skills in academic settings, group projects, or professional environments. So think of it this way. Discussion isn't just talking. It's about creating understanding together. So by improving how we interact, we improve not just the quality of the conversation, but also the quality of your relationships. So what exactly makes a discussion effective? So it's not just exchanging words. Effective discussion actually involves three key things: active listening, clear speaking, and constructive contribution. It's about having a clear purpose. You might be, whatever, solving a problem, sharing some information, analyzing a topic, etc. The goal is that everybody leaves the discussion having learned something or move forward in their own understanding. So, for example, in a group project meeting, an effective discussion means that everyone knows what is expected of them next. If you're in a seminar, it might mean you've deepened your understanding of a text through shared perspectives. Like a discussion is not about winning an argument. It's not a battle. It's about building understanding together, your understanding and also the other people there. An interaction, by its own nature, is a two-way process. It's not just one person talking and the other one simply listening. It is a back and forth. So the key principles include asking questions, expressing ideas, active listening, and giving feedback. So let's think about this for a moment. If you only express your ideas but never listen, you use the valuable input from those other people. It's just a monologue. It is not a discussion in any way. It is just a one-way interaction. And on the other hand, if you only listen but never share your thoughts, the group loses your perspective. So true interaction means that there is a balance, speaking and listening, sharing and understanding. This promotes clearer communication and also helps to build stronger relationships and trust amongst the participants that you have. So we've touched on this a couple of times, so let's develop the idea of active listening. Now, you can see active listening in our other videos, so it should be appearing on the screen now somewhere. But active listening is absolutely essential for effective discussion. It is about hearing words, but it is also about understanding the speaker's message, their emotions, and intentions behind those words. So, when you are actively listening, you are showing the speaker that their ideas matter and that they're valid. So, you can do this by maintaining eye contact, put your phone away, focus on what they're saying. It can be nodding, like, oh yeah, or it can also be using short phrases like, I see, that's interesting. So this means really that you're not interrupting. Avoid interrupting as much as possible. And another thing you can do is try to paraphrase what somebody else has said to confirm your understanding. So if they say, I believe da 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 da, then you say, oh, so what you're saying is, and then just reformulate the sentence back to them. So active listening helps to prevent misunderstandings because you're checking what you have heard from them, what you've learned, and it also helps other people to feel respected and valued. And that's why it is the foundation of any meaningful discussion. A connected idea to this is feedback, because feedback plays a huge role in learning and communication. If you do it well, it helps to grow and improve. But if it is done badly, it can shut people down. So constructive feedback focuses on ideas, not people. So it's not a personal thing. So, for example, instead of saying that's wrong, you could say, I see what you mean, but maybe we could look at it in another way. Also with feedback, it is important to be specific. Vague feedback like good job doesn't really help anybody. Instead, try something like, I liked how clearly you explained your point about teamwork. That really clarified the issue. And remember, feedback works both ways. We should also be open to receiving it, seeing it as an opportunity to grow, not as some kind of personal criticism or critique. Now, questions are also at the heart of a good discussion. They keep conversation moving, they challenge assumptions, and they encourage deeper thinking. Now, there are different kinds of questions, but open-ended questions are usually the best for discussion. So for instance, instead of saying, did you like the article? That really can only give you a yes or no answer. Try asking something like, what did you find most interesting? Or what did you find most surprising about the article? And that ties into the bigger idea that questions should be clear, relevant, and encourage others to expand their thinking. Also, a good question, it shows that you're engaged and that you value what others have to say. So in group settings, it also helps those quieter members, those maybe people who feel shy, it helps them to participate by giving them a chance to share their own thoughts. So being able to express your ideas confidently is another vital part of interaction. Confidence isn't about dominating the conversation. It's all about expressing your thoughts clearly and respectfully. So before speaking, take a moment to organize your ideas. Think about what you want to say and how you can say it concisely, briefly. Okay? So avoid those filler words like or Confidence also comes from preparation. So the more familiar you are with a topic, the easier it will be for you to contribute. And remember, like confidence grows with practice, you're not expected to be confident from the start. So the more you participate in discussions, the easier it will become in the end. So remember, your ideas matter, and sharing them is how others can benefit from your perspective as well. Now, one of the most common issues in group discussion is imbalance, where a few people dominate while other people stay silent. Effective discussion depends on everybody having a voice. So, if somebody is quiet, try inviting them in. You say, what do you think about that, Alex? On the other hand, if you are that kind of person who tends to speak a lot, be mindful of giving others a little bit of space to speak. A balanced discussion leads to richer ideas because you're drawing on a wider range of perspectives. Think of it like a shared meal. Everybody should bring something to the table, and everybody should have a chance to taste what others have brought. So, respect is also the foundation of every good discussion. Without it, even the most intelligent conversation can fall apart. So, respect means acknowledging that everybody's ideas have value, even though you don't agree with them. Okay? So, like we said before, try not to interrupt other people, try not to provide personal comments, um, try to give constructive comments instead, and try not to dismiss other people's ideas with your tone, etc. So instead of saying something like, "Oh, that's ridiculous," you could say, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a different idea. I have a different viewpoint." So being patient, valuing other people's input, encourages both openness and honesty. And when people feel that they are respected, they are much more likely to contribute and to listen to others in return. And if people respect you and they allow you to be open and honest, then that's much better for you as well. So, respect turns disagreement into dialogue, not conflict. Okay, so we've come to the end of our little teeny tiny workshop for today. So thank you all for your attention and participation. I hope you're leaving this session with a bit of a stronger sense of how to make your discussions more productive, respectful, engaging, etc. And remember, effective interaction is more than just communication, it is a life skill. So the next time you're in a group discussion, focus on listening actively, asking thoughtful questions, giving constructive feedback, and respecting everyone's contributions. So, best of luck in your future discussions, and remember, the more you practice these skills, the more naturally they will come.